Do we have a responsibility to children who are outside of our community and outside of our culture and maybe even outside of our country? Here in Chicago, we do live in a privileged society. In a society, even with our violence and even with the poverty and even with the day-to-day struggles that we have, is better than a third world country and better than what they deal with there. What even in El Salvador, what they deal with is illegal adoption and gangs that are far more ruthless and dangerous than Chicago, and stories that would haunt you at night to hear how they would torture people. And the police are paid off, and so the public doesn't even have basic security from the police and armed military guards walking around with AK-47s. And yet, in the middle of all this, there's an orphanage there from Tia Ana, and these children are children of local prostitutes who have given them up voluntarily, and Tia Ana takes them in, and they came from homes where they were tied to beds and so that they could be taken care of while their mothers were working in the other room and exposed to things that children shouldn't be exposed to. And there was one day there that I remember a little girl, her name, I'll call her Diana. She was maybe about 6 or 7 years old, and her mother came to visit with her boyfriend. And because these kids are given voluntarily, there's no court protection. So Tiana has to let the parents get their visits. And this little girl clung to me. I mean, arms wrapped around my neck, begging me, crying, and the look of sheer terror on her face. She didn't want to go. And the reason why she didn't want to go is because the mother's boyfriend was a pimp. And they weren't taking her for a good visit. They were taking her to work. And there was nothing we could do. We had to stand there and watch this little girl walk away into a situation that we couldn't even comprehend what she would be dealing with. And that has brought to my heart how that changed my life, and how I challenge this to change your life. And what will it take to challenge you to reach outside of yourself, to reach outside your family, reach outside of your community and even your culture, and outside of the country, to be connected with them, because it will help you appreciate where we are today and who we are today, and the responsibility that we have to use the gifts that God has given us today.